Good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you are across the globe. This is a little orientation session from the Technical Services team at the Faculty of Computer Science. We decided to do it in this way because ordinarily you would all be piled up into a giant lab and we would see you face to face and we would do this session. However, we can't do that this time and because we're in the middle of a pandemic. And we find ourselves scattered all over the globe. So we're doing the best we can to keep you engaged and keep you feeling like a part of the faculty and part of this team. So I've got the entire tech services team here with me. We will go around and introduce ourselves. And essentially, we will run through a presentation that will be available to you afterwards. We will record the session as well, so you can review it afterwards. And if you want to try to remember the names to the faces, you can do it again. And we will also have a cheat sheet of all the information that is on this presentation in sort of like a one-pager, so you can save it and keep it for future reference. So while we may be rambling through this presentation, don't get worried. These are sort of broad strokes, and you will have the information handy afterwards. So during this presentation, we're going to cover a little bit about our group. So basically, there's a group on the third floor of the Goldberg building, and then there are two help desk technicians on the first floor. We're going to cover a little bit about what we support you with, what kinds of support services and application services that we provide. We are a separate entity from Dalhousie's IT services group. They provide IT services for the entire campus, and things about your Dal ID and your Office 365 account are managed by them. We, however, have a separate infrastructure specifically catering to you, our students. So when you need anything that is very CS specific, come looking for us. But if you inadvertently ask us a question and it's not our purview, we will just shuttle you off to the right people. I'm going to cover a little bit of best practices while you are doing your degree with us and provide you with some helpful information. And at the end, we will give you time to answer some questions. If we don't have time for all the questions, we will just collect them and then put them in an FAQ section on our website. So I'm going to start off by letting the team introduce themselves. So we will start with Philip.
Hi, I'm Philip. I am one of the help desk technicians at the help desk on the first floor.
Hello, my name is Roger Spencer, and I'm also a help desk technician in the first floor of Goldberg Computer Science Building.
Hey, I'm Jeremy, and I'm the operations team lead for the group.
Hi, I'm Jeff Allen, and I'm a Unix system administrator and level 2 support.
Hello, I'm Stephanie. I'm an application developer and I support some of the web apps that the faculty use here.
And I'm Chris Maxwell. I'm the other Unix systems administrator, keeping the infrastructure going, or second tier of support. Currently, I'm the go-to person for the GitLab setup.
And I'm Manjula. I am the manager of the technical services team. So at any point, you would be bumping into any one of the 7 of us if you were in the building. So now I'm going to hand it over to Roger to cover a little bit of detail on what the help desk technicians support you with.
So at the help desk, we support a few different things here. So I'll just go over a few of those items. Personal device support. So we provide support for those who need help installing course-related software on their laptops and devices. And we also help with installing operating systems in both virtual environments and on bare metal machines, such as like a laptop reload or a PC reload. Most often than not, we see students asking about Linux because a lot of people haven't been introduced to it till they came to our faculty. And we also do IT consultation. So if you have any questions about technology, you can come to the help desk and ask us. And if we don't know, we know someone who do. When it comes to printing, right now the building is closed, so printing is not available. But when the building is open, you'll find printers on all floors of the Goldberg building and also on the top floor of Mona Campbell building. They can be accessed through your laptop or any device, really. We are in the process of implementing a new print system, but the current one we use has how-tos on how to add the print drivers to your device and print straight from there to the building itself. Now, you had to bring your own paper because we don't provide paper at the help desk. And as I said previously, there is how-to videos on how to add the printer to your device. Over to you, Philip.
Hey, at the help desk, we offer short-term laptop loans to our students who may have a broken machine and are in need of a computer. We currently have limited on-site hours, which are Mondays and Thursdays from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. So if you needed a laptop, you would have to come by during those times. During COVID, we please ask that you contact us via email as we are not on site. And we are currently working increased hours Monday to Friday from 7 a.m. until 5 p.m. Over to you, Chris.
So I just wanted to give you a sampling of some of the resources that you will have available to you even if you're not on site. So we've got GitLab, and I just wanted to explain some of the terms. This is possibly how you will be submitting some of your assignments, but version control is, I'm not sure if you've got on your machine these like programming assignment, broken version, programming assignment working with recursion, working final fixed. There's a better solution, which is called version control, and it gives you a sort of sequence of how did I change it, lets you roll it back, and generally know that you haven't lost your code. So project management is something we use in software development. Software development is about moving from just slam it together and hack it and make it work to planning it out and making sure all your bases are covered. Often most useful in groups, but you can also use some of the features to sort of keep track of, have I fixed this? What's remaining? It's also got continuous integration, which lets you recompile and retest each time you think you've got it working. So then we've also got two general use machines. These are just sort of our reference setup for making sure that you think we've got it working. If it's not working at home, it should work on here or vice versa. It's each one is about 32 virtual cores, 96 gigabytes of memory, which sounds like a lot, but it's a shared resource. And there is possibly 800 students, not all at the same time, using it. You access them via PuTTY or SSH, depending on your platform. And you can upload and download files from them with FileZilla, WinSCP, SSHFS for the truly precocious. So for web hosting, I'll turn to Stephanie.
Thank you, Chris. And I just want to say, wow, I love version control. It's great. So another thing I want to mention is that we offer website hosting. So all students, faculty, and staff are entitled to a web space on this separate machine. The usage is restricted to academic or personal use, and it is maintained by you. So to figure out how to set that up, you just go to web.cs.dal.ca, and all the instructions will be there. And I'll hand it over to Jeff.
Okay, so your CSID is a login used to access our computer science only resources that you may use in your courses. It's a separate username and password than your NetID. It's used for the services we've just covered, GitLab, Timberly, Waverly, website hosting, and printing. It's also used to log into our OpenStack platform and the shared workstations in the Learning Center and teaching labs in the Goldberg building. You should have received an email to your Dalhousie address with the subject, Welcome to Dalhousie Computer Science, which includes your CSID and tells you how to change the password. If you haven't received this email, just contact the help desk and they'll help you with that. And you can keep your CSID after you graduate as long as you log in at least once a year. And back to Manju.
Actually, I'm going to hand that over to Jeremy because I think he's best served to talk about the ITS help desk. Jeremy?
So in addition to the services that computer science provides in-house, ITS also provides some services that you will be using while you're working with us. So first is your NetID. If you want to manage the password to that, you can do that through the website you see here on the screen. Microsoft 365, which is accessible through my.dal.ca. This is where you can access your email and any shared resources that you'll be using in your courses, including Microsoft Teams. You can also download a copy of Microsoft Office for your Windows or Mac machine here. You can also access Microsoft Azure to get a copy of Windows 10 for your computer if you need it, and that can be accessed from the site on the screen. If you need any assistance with any of these services, you will have to contact the Killam Help Desk for assistance, and their contact information is available on the screen, although it is recommended that you use email to contact them during COVID. And finally, I'll mention for some of the advanced level courses, or if there are any grad students watching this, ITS does provide some specialty software for you at the site listed there on the screen as well. Back to you, Manju.
All right, so we're almost done. So I'm just going to cover some best practices for students, if whether you're on site or not. So some best practices include not saving your data to a machine that you don't own, for example, which there were some public machines in the Goldberg building. And if you save your data to that machine, it gets formatted and refreshed every couple of weeks. So we don't recommend that. There is some on-site storage, probably not relevant for you right now. But with your DAL account, you get a OneDrive account that has a cloud storage, and you get 2 terabytes of space, so probably enough for you for the duration of your degree. And I recommend that if you're using a lab space, there should be no food or drinks near the computers. This includes your own laptop. We monitor the lab to ensure there's proper usage. And if there are any issues, we will call security. All the equipment there is secured, so there's no possibility of walking off with the iMac. I would also recommend that you keep your belongings protected. If you leave to go to the washroom or go to class even, don't leave your jackets or your laptops or phones lying around, even if you have to go to the washroom, because we have known instances where students have lost their homework, their laptop, just in a matter of 5 to 10 minutes. And often it's very hard to recover it. So just a little heads up there. I'm going to get Stephanie to cover some of the helpful locations around the Goldberg building. Again, this is going to be in the presentation, and you're not going to be in Goldberg, at least not for this semester. So Stephanie, over to you.
So if our building was open, these are some of our key locations. So we have the Student Society, the scanning station, the Learning Center, which for the time being is all online. The reception is first floor lobby, Shift Key Labs, where you would never have food or drink, teaching labs, and the auditorium as well.
Perfect. All right, so that brings us to the end of our presentation. I'd like to open up the floor for you guys to ask us any questions.